Hey guys, welcome back. Well, if you watched our episode last week, you saw that we've been working on a 1940s buffet that kicked our butts. We left you hanging last week and only gave you part one of refinishing that buffet. But today we are here to finish this buffet. So this is the pretty episode. We'll call it part two. If you haven't seen part one yet, I can't promise this is all going to make sense. So if you want, we'll leave the link right here so you can go head over and watch part one. Well, in case you missed it, this drawer has been giving us all sorts of troubles, mainly because I'm an idiot.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I'm still trying to repair my own mistakes. And this is our second round of Bondo. We're just trying to make this drawer look like nothing's ever happened.
You all know that Dani loves her power tools. So today she's using I think it's called an oscillating multi-tool. Here she's taken off some weird edges so we can install the top properly and have it sit flush.
It is finally paint time.
Woo!
And we have left you guys hanging for a whole week. You don't even know what color we're going to use yet.
Black.
Blue?
No.
Green? White? I don't know. One of those four. Those seem to be the only colors we use. So we want to keep these doors the beautiful wood on front, but we need to spray the inside. So just a little bit of prep work going on.
Dani, are you flipping us off?
No, apparently I just do that.
This pine board that we got from the big box store really had a lot of texture to it. And we wanted it to be perfectly flat and smooth. So Dani took that lightweight spackle and just spread it out all over it. I guess that's called a skim coat. So she did a very nice thin skim coat and sanded it down, and it really helped a lot.
In that first episode, you may have seen that I jigsawed these notches of this top and it got a little out of control. Apparently, slip happens. That was my mom's line. So I'm not able to take any more wood off of this, so we have to add as if it's always been there. So Bondo to the rescue. So our favorite way to use Bondo to make something nice and flat is to slap it on there, use a straight edge like this metal ruler, wrap it in foil so it doesn't stick to the Bondo, and then slowly peel it off, and then we're left with a pretty flat edge that we can sand down once it's dry.
We are just loving this new sprayer. Thank you, Fuji.
It is like thebomb.com.
Can you imagine if we had to paint this thing with rollers and brushes?
I know, even though this project was a pain in our rear ends, I can't believe just
and the booties and the behinds.
This painting, 3 blue coats, 3 top coats, was actually the easiest part of this entire project. We never would have said that if we had done this by hand.
Oh my gosh, it is so fun and so fast.
We're using Melange 1's Vagabond Blue. It's a gorgeous navy.
And it's just what we used on the top hutch.
Yeah, these pieces actually would look really gorgeous together, but alas, they'll be in 2 different homes.
The veneer on this piece was just so gorgeous. We didn't need to use any stain at all. The only thing we used to finish off this piece is some wipe-on poly, and it just brought out that color and it's protecting it at the same time.
We've removed these trim pieces from the beautiful mahogany doors, and we're just going to paint them gold so they really pop on that mahogany veneer. So we're using Modern Masters metallic gold paint. It's a little translucent at first, so you'll need a few coats. And if you guys like any of these products we're using, these are products we stand by and we absolutely love. They've been tried and true for us and used in many, many projects. If you have any Amazon shopping to do, we would love it if you used our links down below in the description, especially if you're looking for any of these specific products. It means the world to our little business when you guys use our links and help us out. It won't cost you a penny, but it really does help us out because we receive a small commission from whatever you purchase on Amazon. I love this original hardware that came with this buffet, but it definitely needs to be polished up. So we boiled it in half water, half vinegar for 30 minutes. When I took it out, normally I use Barkeeper's Friend, but this time it didn't even need it. A little scrub with some fine steel wool, and these babies polished right up.
Even though our paint has a top coat built into it, we wanted to give this piece extra protection since it'll be getting a lot of use as a buffet. So Dani is using Varathane water-based polyurethane to top coat this, and I think she did 4 coats on it.
The sides of this buffet are solid wood, and unfortunately a completely different kind of wood than the beautiful veneer on the front. So we're gonna need to stain these so they sort of match. But unfortunately, the stain we chose, wow, a little orange, right, Mom?
Oh my gosh, and how many layers of different stains do we put on here?
So we started with this one, and this is an old one. I'm not even sure we could read the name on it anymore.
I think it was cedar.
Okay, a cedar color, which we should have known wasn't gonna match. Then we went over it with a walnut. That still was too orange. And finally, we did one last coat of Minwax gel stain and hickory. And lo and behold, it looks amazing.
It was the ticket.
It was the ticket, and now it looks just like the drawers on the front. Our client wanted single long handles on these drawers, so we need to somehow hide all these holes from the original hardware. This was our first time attempting to use the Mohawk fill sticks, which really are the coolest thing. But it's not exactly what they're designed to do. These fill sticks are great for hiding scratches and little dings, not to completely hide huge circles. But I gave it my best shot.
Oh my gosh, you spent hours
At
doing this.
least 3 hours filling all these holes. And you know what? They turned out pretty darn good. Our tip for this is to use a hairdryer to melt that wax so they blend even better as you're mixing colors and trying to get a natural grain look. But even afterwards, we had the client come over, they were still too obvious. And because her husband is self-proclaimed OCD, I knew it would drive him crazy. as is our tradition with Second Chance Ohana, we typically have multiple Get Her Done days.
And our punch list for this project was a mile long.
And I would say a punch bag. What do you think?
Oh my gosh, yes it did.
So these projects really do always take longer than we think they will, but there was something special about this piece.
Arizona is the home of some of the most beautiful scenery in the world, including the Grand Canyon, which is just a few hours away from us. Pops took this photo of the canyon at sunrise one morning. One of the items on our punch list that we had to address were the holes that Dani had taken quite a while to fill, and they look pretty good.
Aw, thanks, Mom.
But not perfect.
No.
So we had a meeting with the client who gave her a couple of options, and she chose to have us put on these blue stripes on the front of the drawers.
And for these stripes, we use a veneer edge band trim, which makes it really easy. We just cut them to the length, iron them right on, and then trim the edges with scissors. I love these handles. They are so great and wonderfully modern, exactly what my client was looking for. But they only came in this really bright, brassy orange. Time to give them a new look that matches with what we're doing. We originally tried using gold gilding wax on these pieces, but for some reason it turned out really streaky and almost a little green. So we used a fine steel wool to remove all that gilding wax, and then once they were nice and clean, sprayed them with this awesome spray paint, and then of course sealed them when they were dry. In case you've ever wondered what it sounds like when I sit on a nail. These two doors each have a spot for a keyhole. Unfortunately, only one of them had a cover. So we had to find some new ones, and they don't quite fit perfectly. I'm so thankful for this little Dremel tool where we can just shave off a little bit at a time, and then we can just pop this keyhole cover right in. And I love it. It looks so cute with the other hardware we've added. Another final item on our punch list was getting the bottom drawer to work, because no matter which drawer we put in, none of them slid right. When we finally took it all out and took out the glide, we realized that this piece was actually wider than the space for the drawers to glide over. So the drawers were just sliding on top, scraping the tops of the drawers, and it came out of the factory like this. But nothing we can't solve, so we just knocked it out of place, shaved it off with sanding, and then re-glued it on properly so that bottom drawer glides back in like butter. Well, Mom, did we do it? Is it finally done?
Yes, hallelujah.
I feel the same way. It gave us a run for our money, but I'm so happy with how it turned out. Thank you guys for sticking in there with us an extra week as we got all the final touches on this piece, and our client loves it, and it looks so beautiful in her home. So until next week, aloha!